The idea that King Harris ended up in a hospital because of an attack linked to 50 Cent's people and that his father T.I. broke down in tears over it has set the internet on fire. So the beef between 50 Cent and the Harris family has taken turn after turn, and we are going to walk through every single thing that happened, step by step. Here is the full timeline of the 50 Cent versus T.I. and King Harris war. To understand how we got here, we have to go back to the beginning. And the beginning, for this particular chapter of beef, is a versus battle that never took place. The origins of the feud between 50 Cent and T.I. date back to a proposed versus battle between the two. T.I. wanted the matchup with 50 Cent, but according to T.I., 50 backed out. Now, this had been a point of contention between them for a while, but it boiled over recently when T.I. went on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast and put 50 Cent on blast for what he says happened behind the scenes. T.I. told the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast about his issues with 50. He said they talked about it, they said what they were going to do, and when T.I. jumped out there, 50 acted like he did not know what was going on. He told 50 to just say he does not want to do it, and called all the extra stuff lame and goofy, before confirming the versus between the two would never take place. Now, for those who do not know, versus was a platform where two artists go head-to-head, playing their biggest records against each other while the audience watches and votes. It became a cultural event, especially during the pandemic, and having 50 Cent versus T.I. would have been one of the biggest matchups in the history of the format. Both are multi-platinum artists from the mid-2000s era. 50 was the star of G-Unit, and T.I. was the self-proclaimed King of the South. The tension between them began to appear in a competitive way, with sneak disses. But despite the history, this particular situation had apparently been agreed upon, and then it was not. And that is what T.I. says happened. 50 Cent, for his part, did not take kindly to T.I. putting this out publicly. Rather than addressing the versus topic head-on, 50 went to his preferred platform, Instagram, and started doing what 50 Cent does best, trolling. But what happened next took things to a place nobody expected. Instead of keeping the shots between himself and T.I., 50 Cent posted an unflattering photo of T.I.'s wife, Tamika Tiny Harris, on social media during the feud. The drama started when 50 Cent posted a photo of Tiny Harris performing with the caption, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth, okay?" That one Instagram post changed the entire direction of the beef. Because up until that point, this was a back and forth between two veteran rappers about a failed versus and some competitive tension. But the moment 50 Cent brought Tiny Harris into it, the conversation shifted. And one person in particular was not going to let it slide. That person was King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T.I. and Tiny. The back and forth between the two rappers escalated after 50 shared the photo of Tamika Tiny Harris. King Harris, the Atlanta rapper's youngest son, took to Instagram in defense of his mother, with several posts pointing out 50's prior beefs, the aftermath of his 2000 shooting, previous accusations of domestic violence, and more. King was not playing. The moment his mother's name and image got dragged into a beef that had nothing to do with her, he went online and made it clear he had something to say. And from that point forward, King Harris was no longer a bystander in this feud. He became one of its main characters. Now here's the thing. Some people might say King was out of pocket for what came next. Others might say he was doing what any son would do when his mother gets disrespected by a man with over 30 million followers on Instagram. Either way, the reaction was immediate, it was loud, and it sent shockwaves across the internet. So let us talk about exactly what King Harris said and did after 50 Cent posted that photo of Tiny. When King Harris saw that 50 Cent had posted an image of his mother as a way to troll his father, he did not hesitate. He went to Instagram and started firing back, in a way that made it clear this was personal for him. On Sunday, February 22nd, King took to his Instagram stories with an explicit rant. After 50 Cent shared the unflattering photo of Tiny amid his feud with T.I., he referenced 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died in 1983. He urged the rapper to post a photo of his late mother before doubling down that he should leave Tiny out of the back and forth. King did not stop there. On his Instagram account, King shared a post of a gravesite featuring 50 Cent's mother and grandmother's names, a video of the rapper in court in a case where he stood accused of trampling and assaulting 3 women at a concert, and a photo of one of the rapper's sons on his lap. The internet responded immediately. Some people felt King had gone too far by bringing up 50 Cent's late mother. Others pointed out that 50 Cent had started it by posting about Tiny. The debate raged online for hours, but 50 Cent, in classic fashion, did not seem bothered. 50 Cent appeared unfazed and unbothered by all the drama, replying to King Harris only with a laughing emoji and a meme. Specifically, 50 Cent responded to Harris's comments with a brief LOL caption. On a post featuring a popular frog face meme, That mocking response only made King go harder. 50 Cent posted a clip of himself, and King edited into T.I.'s 2006 film, ATL. In response, King went off on his Instagram story, sharing a list of over a dozen grievances against the rapper. And the list was extensive. King brought up 50's 2000 shooting, called him out for dissing Lil' Kim after trying to date her, accused him of getting outsold and embarrassed by Kanye West, and much more. In a longer post, King cited several figures who have publicly clashed with 50 Cent over the years, including Diddy, Rick Ross, Ashanti, and Vivica A. Fox. He wrote that the list of people 50 has disrespected over the years is endless, and that he came into the game creating unnecessary controversy, and that damn near 30 years later, he is still the same attention-seeking person. Then 50 fired back again, this time going after King and T.I.'s family even more. Fifth took to Instagram to take several more shots at the trap pioneer and his loved ones. He did so while promoting the 2026 Broadway revival of August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone, which he executive produced. He captioned the post with the opening night date and included remarks that appeared to be jabs at T.I.'s family. At this point, T.I. himself stepped in with music. T.I. replied on Twitter with a post and a new song titled War. It was not made clear whether or not the song was a direct diss to 50 Cent, though it could be interpreted that way. But T.I. was not done. T.I. also responded to 50 with a new diss track titled The Right One, in which he mentioned 50's ex Daphne Joy's past relationship with Diddy. So now we had T.I. releasing diss tracks, King Harris waging an Instagram war, and 50 Cent trolling all of them. The feud had expanded from a versus argument into a full family versus one-man conflict, and it was about to get even bigger. King Harris was not content with just Instagram posts and video rants. He decided to take things to the next level in two ways. First with a diss track, and then with paperwork. On February 24th, King released a song titled Made Man, addressing remarks he says were aimed at his mother. The track suggests that, for him, the conflict is personal. King took various shots at Fifth in the new song. He called out the mogul for dissing his mother, making it clear that he is unwilling to tolerate any disrespect. As a result, the song is positioned as a defense of family. King was not trying to make a radio hit. He was trying to send a message. And for a 21-year-old going at one of the most successful and ruthless trolls in the history of hip-hop, the fact that he made a diss track at all showed he was committed to this fight. But the diss track was only half of it. A day later, King pulled out what many would consider the nuclear option in hip-hop, snitching allegations. King Harris was not holding back amid his feud with 50 Cent, even digging up documents dating back to 2009. 50 Cent is currently in the middle of a fiery feud with both T.I. and his 21-year-old son, King Harris. The latter took to Instagram to share what looks like an official FBI report dating back to 2009. The document outlines how Fifth allegedly placed an anonymous tip about Lodi Mac Fletcher's murder investigation. Allegedly, he told officials that he was in fear for his safety and that James Jimmy Henchman Rosemond had ordered Lodi Mac's murder. Jimmy Henchman is currently serving a life sentence for this, in addition to other charges. The document King shared contained a specific claim. According to the paperwork, the phone used to place the anonymous tip was connected to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and Jackson confirmed that he was the person who placed the anonymous call and that he was in fear of his life following the death of Lodi Mac Fletcher. King captioned the post pointedly. In his caption, King presented the filing as a counterpoint to earlier claims made by 50 Cent about T.I. He wrote that he has 21 questions but just needs 50 to answer one, asking who Lodi Mac was, and stating that after Lodi Mac died, that is when 50 Cent started to fear for his life. He concluded by asking if this is the person who called his pops a rat with no black and white, and said, "Here is yours." This was significant because 50 Cent had been labeling T.I. a snitch for years. The feud had escalated when 50 Cent posted T.I. testifying over the death of his good friend Philip Johnson, and labeled the Atlanta rapper King Rat. So King was essentially saying, "You want to call my father a rat? Here are your own documents." Now, here is an important detail. King Harris posted FBI docs calling 50 Cent a snitch, but federal authorities already called those documents fabricated in 2019. This is not the first time these documents have circulated. These documents keep resurfacing every time someone has beef with 50 Cent. Irv Gotti posted similar claims. French Montana circulated comparable allegations. Each time, the documents failed to hold up under scrutiny. But regardless of whether the documents are legitimate or not, the move itself was a statement. King's involvement has added a generational dimension to the conflict. A 21-year-old was now digging through federal court records from 2009 to try to win a beef against a man twice his age, and the internet was watching every second of it. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's response to all of this was characteristically dismissive. 50 Cent, though almost certainly joking, told fans he is looking ahead to a slow news day. Amid his continued back and forth with T.I. and King Harris, T.I. on his end continued to release music. Earlier that Wednesday, T.I. continued his Fifth Focus campaign by again sharing new music in the run-up to his Kill the King album. And then something else happened. Other rappers began to take notice. Rick Ross showed support for King Harris amid his and T.I.'s feud with 50 Cent. This added yet another layer. Now it was not just the Harris family against 50 Cent. Other figures in hip-hop were picking sides. And the longer this beef went on, the more people got pulled into it. As the days passed, both sides continued to escalate. But what made this particular beef different from most hip-hop feuds was how many family members got involved. This was not just two rappers going back and forth. This was a family affair. King Harris continues to blast 50 Cent amid the G-Unit film and television mogul's feud with T.I. As the back and forth wages on in headlines, King Harris is continuing his own campaign against the G-Unit founder. Borrowing a page from Fifth's book, King, son to T.I. and Tamika Tiny Harris, has focused his energies on relentless Instagram trolling in recent days. In one post, dated February 23rd, King included an image of Fifth with his younger son on his lap. 50 Cent is a father of two, including Marquise and Sire. King wrote when sharing the image that 50 is raising his son wrong, adding "this not AI," and the post was soundtracked by Wanksta, 50's 2002 hit. In an IG Stories update, King went deeper by tagging 50 Cent and criticizing him for being, in his words, the same attention whore he was when he first became a star. King also went further by disrespecting 50 Cent's late mother again. King Harris continues to be a thorn in 50 Cent's side since hopping in the beef that involves his dad, T.I. He has come to his pop's defense with his own diss track and supposedly an authentic piece of paperwork that paints 50 as a snitch. But those are just a few things Harris has done since entering the feud. He has also been taking some cruel shots at the G-Unit boss's late mother, Sabrina. She passed in 1983 when Fifth was still fairly young. But that has not stopped King Harris. The 21-year-old launched into a vulgar rant about her, while essentially telling 50 to stay in his lane. Now, bringing up someone's dead mother is a line that many people feel should never be crossed, regardless of the circumstances. And as the days went on, it became clear that at least some of King's comments were starting to weigh on his conscience. Specifically, he realized that 50 Cent's son Marquise had nothing to do with this beef, and yet his grandmother was being dragged through the mud publicly. King wrote a message to Marquise, saying that what he said was out of emotion and did not have to be said, and that Marquise had nothing to do with it. He followed with, "As a man, I was wrong. Let's chop it up," adding a crown emoji to signal respect. The apology arrives after a heated back and forth that saw King, Tip, and his brother Damani fire shots at 50. So now we know that even Damani, T.I.'s other son, had gotten involved. This was a full family effort against 50 Cent. King's latest message suggests reflection. He admitted that what he said was out of emotion and did not have to be said, adding that Marquise has nothing to do with it. It is clear he felt Marquise should not be pulled into a dispute. His admission of being wrong stands out in a culture where pride often fuels prolonged beef. His offer to chop it up hints at a private conversation instead of public sparring. That moment of maturity from King was notable, but it did not mean the overall beef was cooling down. 50 Cent continued to post, T.I. continued to release music, and the internet continued to watch it all unfold in real time. While 50 had initially taken more digs at Tiny and responded to King on his socials, the posts have since been deleted from his Instagram. That detail is worth noting. 50 Cent, a man known for never backing down, started deleting posts related to this beef. Some people saw that as a sign that maybe things had gone too far. Others saw it as 50 simply cleaning up his page for business purposes, considering he has a Broadway show and multiple television projects to promote. He was promoting the 2026 Broadway revival of August Wilson's Joe Turner's Come and Gone, which he executive produced. So there was a real business reason for 50 to not have his Instagram cluttered with beef posts. But the timing of the deletions right after King shared those FBI documents raised eyebrows. Meanwhile, Tiny Harris has not publicly commented on the feud involving her husband and her son. That silence has been consistent throughout the entire beef. Tiny, the woman whose photo started this entire chain of events, has stayed quiet while her husband and son handled it. And then there was the police. Yes, the police got involved, but not in the way you might think. The city of South Fulton police commented on the situation after people apparently started calling them, and rappers 50 Cent, T.I., and T.I.'s son King Harris had reignited their public feud. People were literally calling the police department about a rap beef. That is how far this thing had spread. So now we arrive at the part of the story that brought many of you here. The title of this video says, King Harris was hospitalized after an attack by 50 Cent's affiliates, and that T.I. broke down in tears. So what is the truth? Here is what we know. This feud between 50 Cent and the Harris family is real. It has been documented by every outlet from Hot 97 to Complex to The Griot to Hot New Hip Hop. The Verzuz argument, the Instagram posts, the diss tracks, the FBI documents, the insults about family members, all of that happened. None of that is in dispute. But the specific claim that King Harris was hospitalized after being attacked by people affiliated with 50 Cent, that is a different story. While social media reports have painted a dramatic picture, no legitimate evidence supports the idea that King is in the hospital. For now, the story appears to be just that, a story. Other versions of the story insisted he was in a coma and that his last words had gone viral. The issue is that these reports lack verification. Many of the posts spreading the story come from profiles that have no legitimate reporting tied to them. A TikTok page, pop.talks22, posted a collage of photos and video with an AI voiceover, but no valid sources for the claim. TikTok after TikTok has been posted with wild claims and bad AI voiceovers, but no real reporting or sources. Most of the pages creating content about King being hospitalized are not reputable and do not have a history of reporting facts. They quickly create content making wild claims, post them, and watch the comments roll in. Adding to the doubt, no photos or credible footage support the claims. The only sources pushing the story are channels that thrive on dramatic headlines designed to get clicks, not fact-based reporting. Additionally, King has been active on Instagram, posting videos just days before these claims started circling. And in fact, based on everything we have covered in this video, King has been extremely active online throughout this entire beef. He has been posting on Instagram stories, releasing a diss track, sharing FBI documents, and even apologizing to 50 Cent's son Marquise. None of that is the behavior of someone who is in a hospital. The Steady Blowin' Pro Show cited insider sources denying the claims altogether, further undermining their credibility. However, it is worth noting that he did not back up his claim with verifiable information either. It is important to remember that viral rumors often prey on fan concern and curiosity. When stories emerge only on unverified social media platforms and not through established media, it is a red flag. As for T.I. breaking down in tears, there is no verified footage or report from any credible outlet showing T.I. crying over King Harris being attacked or hospitalized in connection to this beef. The TikTok clips that circulate with these claims use old footage of T.I. in emotional moments, repurposed with AI voiceovers to create a narrative that does not exist. T.I. has been active on social media throughout this beef, releasing music, posting about his upcoming album, Kill the King, and engaging with 50 Cent directly through diss tracks. That is not the behavior of a man in tears at his son's hospital bed. So here is the bottom line. The beef between 50 Cent and the Harris family is 100% real. Since King entered the mix, the beef has taken off, and it appears to not be slowing down anytime soon. T.I. has released multiple diss tracks. King has released his own diss track, Made Man. King has posted what he claims are FBI documents alleging 50 Cent cooperated with federal agents. 50 Cent has trolled the entire Harris family on Instagram and then deleted the posts. Rick Ross has shown support for King. King has apologized to 50's son Marquise. The city of South Fulton police has asked people to stop calling them about it. All of that is real. But the hospitalization, the attack by 50 Cent's affiliates, T.I. breaking down in tears, none of that has been confirmed by any legitimate source. It appears to be a fabrication, spread by content farms and AI-generated TikToks designed to capitalize on a real beef by adding fictional elements that get clicks. The long-running tension between 50 Cent and T.I. has taken on a generational dimension. Now, it is complicated by the involvement of family members who have grown up in its shadow. King Harris is 21 years old. He grew up watching his father navigate the music industry, and now he is in the middle of a beef with one of the most confrontational figures in hip-hop history. Whether you think King handled it well or not, the fact remains that he stood up for his family when he felt they were being disrespected. And then he had the maturity to apologize to Marquise Jackson when he realized he crossed a line. This story is far from over. 50 Cent is not the type to let things go quietly, and T.I. has an entire album to promote. T.I. continued his fifth-focused campaign by again sharing new music in the run-up to his Kill the King album. The name of that album alone tells you where T.I.'s head is at. So keep watching, because if the last week has taught us anything, it is that this beef can escalate overnight. And while the hospitalization story may not be true, the tensions between these two camps are real, and anything can happen next. We will keep you updated as more develops. Stay tuned.
After trying to confront 50 Cent outside a bar, T was allegedly arrested, and things soon got out of hand. This argument has shocked the internet because of the already high level of tension between 50 Cent and the Harris family. We'll dissect the entire narrative and demonstrate the precise circumstances surrounding T.I.'s arrest in this video. A versus battle is the first step in the T.I. and 50 Cent crisis in 2026. Everything we are going to discuss has its roots in that. The problem stems from remarks made by T.I. on $1 Million Worth of Game, in which he stated that a versus matchup had been agreed upon by both parties and that he was meant to make the announcement. Tip claims that after the proposal was made public, 50 changed course and pretended to be unaware, which led to the altercation. You must now comprehend the background of these two in order to comprehend why this is significant. When both rappers were arguably at their best in 2006, the feud first started. There were clear indications that they didn't get along, even though it never started. However, neither of them had sufficient justification to openly attack one another in the mid-2000s. They were dealing with more serious issues. Atlanta was ruled by T.I. In New York, 50 Cent was in charge. They were both selling records. They were both filmmakers. They were both constructing empires. Competition existed, but it remained in the realm of mutual knowledge rather than overt animosity. Music in late 2007, that was altered. T.I. would be taken into custody on federal gun charges towards the end of 2007. He would reach an agreement with the federal government by March, serving a mere year in prison. The stress centered on that deal. 50 would see this and say, "You so tough," with a diss tip on the gun it cut. 50's position was obvious. The calculations did not add up. 10 machine guns, 12 months. That was the line that 50 persisted in promoting, and it served as the impetus for the years-long snitch narrative that followed T.I. The second arrest followed. 6 months after being freed from prison, T.I. was arrested once more after he and his wife Tiny were found in possession of marijuana and tablets that looked like ecstasy. He received an additional 11 months in prison as a result, and 50 Cent openly questioned why Tiny didn't take the fall for her husband. That did not sit well with T. He responded in a Vibe cover story saying, "I'ma tell you 50 Cent and anybody else, we not going to have no discussion about what my old lady should have, would have, could have done for anything as it pertains to me. I'm the only one in my family that's going to take a lick when it pertains to the legal system. I feel that a person that stands behind his woman for a criminal charge is a coward." Anyway, the two would actually hop on a call and squash it not long after. In December of that year, 50 told Vibe that he and T had settled things in a conversation